This is Bread for Daily Living with your host, Patty Wimmer.
Happy New Year. This is Bread for Daily Living, and I'm your host, Patty Wimmers. And I want to talk to you today about the Holy Spirit. You know, we talked on the last one about that today is the day of salvation, and that we should expect the unexpected. We should know that God's going to show up. I can think of so many times in my life. I remember the first time I think I really realized later on that God had shown up. He's shown up at many other places, but my son was in the hospital when he was 4.5. Some really severe situations coming up, and I really didn't have the support of my husband at that time. He just, I don't know, he couldn't handle it, whatever. Anyway, I was sort of there by myself. My mom and dad were both working, and there just really wasn't anybody else. And I remember going down to the end of the hall at Variety Children's Hospital in Miami, which is now has a different name, and just putting my head in my hands and saying, "Oh God." And he showed up. He showed up. I didn't expect it, but he showed up. I didn't know what to do. It was later that I realized, wow, all I said was, "Oh God." That was it. I didn't say, "Oh Lord, this is happening. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, please, please do." No. I didn't say, "Well, why can't you tell my husband to do this or the doctor?" No. I didn't do any of that. Why I did that, I don't know. It was just, "Oh God." It was it. Simple. I was saved, I know that, but I did not know the Holy Spirit. And I was praying every night, but because of my husband, I had not been in church, which is something I probably never, ever expected to happen, because I'd always gone to church. So you never know what's going to happen. You really don't. You have no idea. You, as we said on the last one, unexpected things happen. And you don't expect God sometimes to meet up. And he did. He healed my son of that particular thing. We were able to take him off of a breathing machine that he'd been breathing on for 2 years. We were able to control the asthma so that he was stable. And because he wasn't on the machine, I could put him in kindergarten, which I could not have done otherwise. And things began to really change at that time. That was probably like at Easter of 77. By October, I was baptized in the Holy Spirit. In ministry immediately, up at Channel 45 when Let's See Broadcasting had it. And in February, we started ministry to the youth in our home under the guidance of Brother Summerall. So, you know, that was a suddenly. Didn't expect it. Did not expect it. And I am so glad he showed up. I am so glad that he saved my husband and son. My son, of course, we wouldn't expect to have been saved. He was only 5, but my husband was a lot older than that, and then he was not saved, and he knew he wasn't. But he knew he had to get saved, because when I came back, filled with the Holy Spirit, I was a completely different person. I stopped smoking. I had so many healings, and that's why I really want to concentrate on healing this year, at least for the first quarter of the year. I really, really want to come in and tell you that God heals. He'll heal you in an unexpected way. But he will heal you. And I mean, I could write a book just on my healings. If you do want to know more about me or about faith, we do have a book called Can Prayer Do It All? I believe that's the name of it, Can Prayer Do It All? We have some other books too, but that one's in a hardcover we can send out to you. If you would like a list of our books or something, you can go on. I think it's on our website. Or you can write to us at the post office box, which will be up at the end of the broadcast. Or you can email us at pwimmers@aol.com. Be happy to send that stuff out to you. We do send a newsletter out once a month. We send out a partner letter to those that give into the ministry. And I know that most of you on YouTube, you probably don't think about, well, giving. No, I just watch you. But sometimes you don't realize that there's expenses and costs that go along with it. We don't do advertising or anything, so the Patty Wimmers Ministries is strictly a faith-based ministry. And we can obviously do a lot more whenever more people are giving. There are a lot of things that we would like to do. We have books that we really would like to get published in a hardcover. or some way at least. We have a way to put them together, but we do have to get it still run off. And definitely my husband and I talked about that, and it needs to be done at a printer or somewhere, and then we can put the binder on it ourselves. But those are, extra expenses, and also keeping the website up. I know that my husband has not been able to do that lately, but hopefully we'll be able to get that back online again. But you can still look at it. It's still got a lot of good information on it for you. But without the Holy Spirit, I don't know. I mean, I was saved. I don't even totally remember ever not being saved, but I didn't have any empowerment, endowment. In Acts it says, Jesus says, it's imperative I go, and the Holy Spirit will come, and He'll endue you with power from on high. And that endowment and that power is the word for dynamite. So it's an explosive kind of thing. And I know when I got baptized in the Holy Spirit, I was definitely explosive, and still am. I mean, people know that she's a Christian. That's her focus. Even when I'm at work, I mean, I have people come up and ask me, could you pray for this situation or that? I can't be demonstrative about my faith, but, light and salt, really, I haven't heard my salt shaker talk to me recently, and I certainly haven't heard the light say anything. So if we're light and salt, they're going to see us. They're going to see that we have the light of Jesus in us, and that we have the salt that makes them salty, so that they want to read more about Jesus. So He empowers you. People today want power, 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 power. And many of them will fight. They'll go around killing people, and they're using bombs and exploding. And a lot of people are the whole thing now about guns and gun control. And, the problem isn't the gun. It's the person with the gun. We need to get America back to God, back to the Judeo-Christian values. Because with the Judeo-Christian values, you're not going to have any problem with a gun or a knife. Because the person that has the gun is the one that's the problem. Or they have access to a gun that they should not have. I don't know for sure what needs to be done, but I do know one thing, that we need to do a lot more praying. I don't think that taking all the guns away is necessarily the thing. I know that that would give the government a lot of control, and I'm not sure that we want that kind of control. Plus the fact we still have that in the Constitution, that we have the right to bear arms. I don't know that we need repeating rifles or something that's like a Tommy gun or something. I'm not real sure that that's necessary. But hunting rifles and so forth, possibly. Those are fine. People do hunt. My dad used to hunt. I went with him when he went hunting sometimes. And he had if I remember right, he had a .22 and a shotgun. Kept them unloaded. I knew where they were, and I knew I wasn't to touch them. And I didn't. So we're empowered. You're empowered to prosper. He gives you the ability to prosper. Prosper is not just money. Prosper is your health. Knowing what to say to somebody. Being in the right place at the right time. Being able to even pray what you need to pray, so that you know that God, God says in John, the book of John, it says that if you pray according to God's will and God's plan, you know that He hears you, and if you know He hears you, you know He'll answer. And boy, that's an important thing. You really want Him to answer. You want Him to show up. You want that unexpected answer. And sometimes you may lack, like this year, I guess a lot of people, because of the taxes and the hanging cliff, people are going to have less money in their paychecks, at least for January. But God will show up in an unexpected way to meet that need, whatever it is. If it's a bill, it might be lower. Maybe groceries, it'll be buy one, get one free. Or maybe you'll have a coupon for it. But there'll be something, or somebody will come and bring you groceries. God will show up. I guarantee it. If you plant seed and you love the Lord and you're praying, He will show up in an unexpected way. He really will. You're empowered from on high. You're endued from on high. You're enabled. We're empowered, endued, and enabled. Enabled to do what? To get through this year. Many people were disappointed and upset about the election. Well, I don't think everybody was happy with the Caesars. I'm not so sure they were happy with the people that were in charge in Babylon. But God began to move on those people to do what He wanted done. We need to be praying for our president. God, please move in his heart to do what you want done in America. What you see the need is. and to straighten out some of our laws where we are legalizing sin. And that needs to really stop. We need to pray. If you're out there and you have a heart for prayer, begin to pray. You know, when I send out the newsletter, I do send prayer requests out there. I give you 4 different directions to pray for that month. And every month we give you something different, okay? And you need to do that. Now, so we're empowered, we're endued, and we're enabled. Enabled to what? To get through today, to get through tomorrow, to get through this year, to be able to make it. That when you're down, He'll bring you up. When you're sick, He'll heal your body. When you don't have an answer, He'll give you wisdom. Whatever your need is. Whatever your need is right now, just reach out. Excuse me, and grab it. Just grab it right now. Just reach out and grab it. And let God enable you to do what you need to do. And to enable you to live every day with the joy of the Lord in your heart. And let that be bread for your daily living. And this is your host, Patty Wimmers.